I'm with the Southern Ohio PGA. It's PGA Free Lesson Month. Get out and see your PGA professional today.
The month of May is PGA Free Lesson Month, presented by Nike, the Golf Channel, and Golf Digest right here on Academy Live. And it's time for our 10-minute free lesson in 2 segments. And welcome Rick Friedberg to the show. It's a pleasure to have you.
Hello.
You are our lucky viewer. Do you feel lucky right now?
Yeah.
A little nervous?
Yes.
No, come on.
Don't want to shank one on there.
No, I'll tell you what, I'm going to be standing over there. I don't want you to shank one either. All right, Don, I know you guys had a chance. We cheated a little bit. We had a chance to chat before the show, but not much. What do you guys, where do you start?
Well, I always start with ask the golfer to give me a synopsis of his golfing history, and in terms of any lessons that you've had, what you're working on presently, and what your problems are. And you told me that your biggest problem is you tend to chunk the ball a lot. And when you get into chunks, you're in big trouble. Because the worst shot in golf is a chunk because the ball doesn't go very far. My motto is thin to win. Thins go farther and straighter, and they're the best misses you can have because they get closer to the green. And the other bad thing about chunking is it's really tough on the joints and ligaments, and you can actually hurt yourself. So you got to get rid of the chunk. So how about taking a few swings and let me see what it looks like, and we'll see where we go from there. Now you said you were an 8 handicap, right?
Yes.
I'm trusting you. Not bad action, Don.
Real good.
And I know you were pleased when you saw his grip. You're like, oh, thank God he's got a good grip.
Yep. I mean, we got a lot of good things here. Originally, I was told he was a 17, and when I saw the grip, I said, wow. And then I saw him making a few practice swings before we came to this segment, and I said, whoa, if he's a 17, man, I want him on my team. Okay. Couple points. I think I also heard you say earlier that you basically swing standard equipment. Length, light, a whole bit. All right. I think we can start right there. I'm really, really big on club fitting. Basically because I have unusual fittings for myself. I'm 5'9", but I have a 35-inch sleeve, which is the average length of a man 6'2" or taller. And so my clubs are all extremely flat, and in many cases shorter than standard. Because if I play normal clubs, the toes up in the air, heel hits the ground. Now, a lot of people believe that if a heel hits the ground, it's always going to tumble forward and cause a hook, but that's not correct. The truth, and when you're playing off of tight fairways, it can actually bounce and go open and hit balls to the right, too. But the point is you're hitting the ground. It slows the club up, messes the whole thing up. So you got to be really careful about making sure your lie angles are correct. And I do a lot of work with a guy named Mike Obarski of Espen Golf. And Nike sends DJ and I great clubs, but in the end, Mike always fits us. And sometimes as much as a ½ degree in lie angle can make a big difference on how the ball, on its launch angle, and that it holds its flight pattern and not starts to hook too much or block too much. And so if you're swinging standard set equipment, and would you say you were 5'7"?
Not even on a good day.
Okay,
5'5".
I was trying to be.
He's
well,
on
you
the
look
platform.
5'7". You're on the platform. But the point is I don't think there's any way that it's it would be highly unlikely that standard lie equipment is going to be even close to what you need. And so right there, it is one of your biggest problems. So I check the length of the clubs and the lie angles is your first thing you got to do when you get back. Secondly, I think, again, if you're chunking the ball a lot, as we said in an earlier segment, most golfers have been taught to hit down on the ball. Now, I asked you that, do you really think about hitting down? You said you don't, and what I actually said to Jerry when I saw your swing was you get through the ball pretty good. But just in case you don't, I think I'd start by stressing with you that you want to swing up to your finish. You want to think about clipping the ball off the ground. My definition of a divot is it tears the grass out, it doesn't dig it. We could even go so far as to say, like Mo Norman, you want bacon slices, not pork chops. All right, so we want to tear the grass out. We want a divot to be like just a ricochet of the club off the ground. Even with a wedge, a good divot many times on hard surface would have a divot no bigger than the size of what a good apple was. If you put it in the middle of the divot, you wouldn't see dirt, you just see grass. Because we want to hit it and we want it out really fast. So I think about hitting it and standing up AFAP as fast as possible, or like I call it, being a Pop-Tart. Think about up. You don't need down. But I think one thing we could test really quick would be just stand here and choke up your club about a ½ inch to an inch and try another swing and tell me if you feel any difference with your arms and their extension at impact.
Yeah.
What'd you feel different?
It felt like the club wanted, I mean, there was some freedom and the club wanted to pull down and just hit the ball.
So what does that tell you? If the club is pulling down, that means you've got room for your arms to straighten up now. If your arms are straightening, that means you're lengthening your string, so to speak, and the rock and string issue of centrifugal force, which means if it's getting longer, it's traveling farther. And most importantly, when your arms are stretching out, they're going to be able to rotate better and faster and fuller and free you up to the top of the swing. So that would be my clue, that your first issue should be length and lie angle. And I think your swing is pretty good. And you just with what the swing you have and swinging up, you should get down to 2 or 3.
And we're going to be back with part 2 of the lesson in just a minute. We're not done yet. We got another whole half of this yet. And we can probably hit some during the commercial here. But as we head to break, I'd like to solicit your videos. Please send them to the Oppenheimer Fund's coaching tips at 7580 Commerce Center Drive, Orlando, Florida 32819. And a little reminder, please use the highest shutter speed possible. Much more to come on Academy Live.
I won over 100 tournaments hitting my drives long and straight. Everybody likes to hit it long and straight, and so do I. This year I just added 20 yards with our new Air Max driver. You can too. You'll just have to try it. It's the best driver I ever played. Air Max is in my bag. Shouldn't it be in your bag too?
Introducing the Nicklaus Air Max multi-layer drivers. Higher launch, lower spin, more distance.
Today, we showed this grandfather how he could count on long-term care insurance to be there for him. If he ever needs it.
In a world where business can't make a move without a network, wouldn't it be great to have a network that can actually move your business? Because the right networking partner can do more than just move data. It can move people, products, and entire industries forward. Can your network do this? It can if it's designed by the world's networking company, AT&T.
No way!
Look out!
Poor little guy. He just darted right out in front of me.
Should we get rid of it?
I don't know. Is he dead?
It doesn't look good.
Ah! He's gonna be all right.
Hey, he's got a little friend. There's an easier way to get golf stuff. At Golfsmith, you can get the hottest golf equipment and return it if you're not happy.
High-priced instructors, no need. Jonathan Kay taught himself how to play the game, and he went to win on the PGA Tour. He'll show you a few tips on the next playing lessons from the pros.
Your foursome can win you great golf equipment in the Fantasy Foursome Fantasy Golf Game presented by Ram. Get a new foursome each week, one player from each of the major tours. The combined lowest point total for each week wins. It all begins May 17th, so sign up today at thegolfchannel.com.
Hi, everybody. I'm Craig Can. Be sure to join us. Sprint pregame live from the Bank of America Colonial Wednesday. Steve Flesh offered. I accepted. I'll caddy for him. He'll tell us if I'm fluff or just a duff.
Hi, I'm Chuck Park from the Spanish Wells Club on Hilton Head, and I want to give you your free lesson.
Welcome back to Academy Live, and it's time to continue our free lesson. And with that, I'm going to turn it back over to Don Trahan.
Okay, Rick, again, as we were talking in the outset here, you brought up the fact, and again, Jerry brought it up too, that today's emphasis on hitting the ball longer is again capitalized with making clubs longer. But as you said, from the time you were a little kid, clubs always seemed too long. Well, again, you're not any taller than you were 10 years ago, and neither am I. In fact, I'm probably shorter. But the point is, clubs have been getting longer as succeeding generations get taller, but us shorter folks don't have the problem that our clubs are too long. And so that's the first issue about getting clubs. You know, again, the longer club will hit a ball farther, only if you can swing it as fast and hit it as solid. And the longer that rock gets away from this center point, the harder it is to make that rock hit the ball on the ground. And so that's why this is critical here. But let's see you make 1 or 2 more swings. There's one thing in your finish I think I want to address a little bit to possibly tighten up your flight pattern and keep your ball in a closer arrangement to landing where you want it to. Okay, for the most part, you're fairly close to three-quarter backswing, which is I like. But I think what's hurting your follow-through is that you're coming through and you're starting to allow too much rotation in your shoulders to the left. Now again, if I stand here and I toss a ball straight forward, how far do I have to just move my hand this way for that ball at 6 feet to already be as much as a foot farther left?
Oh, just a little bit.
Just a teeny bit. But we're hitting golf balls as far as from 10-yard chip shots to 250, 300-yard drives. So I'd like you to tighten up your finish. I'd like to see that when you hit the ball, as we said earlier, you go in the catcher's mitt back here and up the tree with your left arm over your toes. And when your right arm hits into the forward mitt and hits that tree, I want you to make the club go up quicker. If you don't make the club go up, the momentum of the club with your arm rotating and the fact that you are swinging on an inclined plane is going to want to pull you that way. It's your job to not let it go that way, because if you let it go that way, where's the ball going? Right, the ball goes where you swing. And so if you swing left, you're going to have to somehow, again, as I said earlier, hold on, lag, drag, hold block to stop it going right. And so you're living in this bowling alley here. We want to tighten that. I mean, this baseball park. We want to tighten it to a bowling alley. So hit that tree and make the club go up and finish over the center of your shoulder where the club is coming, and your hands and the club are right just missing your left ear, and you're finishing straight up here, so you have an equilateral triangle here where your elbows are horizontal to the ground. You start finishing left, you get this way. That puts a lot of stress and strain on the back, and you're pulling left. So just bust it up over your shoulder, like throwing a sack over your shoulder. And that would be that way for every club.
Okay.
Let me see your practice swing first. Oh, yeah, I like that a lot better. Let's let the elbows go a little bit higher, though. We don't want to...
Up here more?
Yeah, just come up higher. Don't have to keep them close. Just let them go natural. You don't want to pinch your elbows. All right?
I don't want to...
Thought I was a little too close, huh?
And let's have our first casualty on Academy Live.
Well, this is not normally where we stand. That's not too bad. Just let the elbows separate. There's a drill I call the pitcher's wind up. Pitcher stands up like this. His hands go here. That's your backswing. And this is your finish. You don't want pinched elbows. Just let them stay natural. Right there. Good. And then you can take the club from there and recoil, relax right down at your belt buckle. Right to there. And you see your club should be pointing at your target. That keeps you centered and keeps you balanced and relaxes all your muscles. Excellent. All right, go get it. How did that feel? See how square you are?
Pretty good.
I mean, you're dead square to your target, and your eyes and club are pointing right at the flag. I mean,
Sounds like it was going to be straight.
Thank you. That's what you want. The more you bleed this way, the more your ball's going to go that way till you stop it. And when you hold on, yeah, you opened up. You've gone from door 3 over here on the left, and too often we go right past door 2 and end up hitting them through door 1.
I want to ask you some more about that when we come back. Right now, it's time to bid you farewell. Thanks for taking part.
Thank you.
We appreciate it.
Thanks. Thank you.
Rick Friedberg, the Papa John's franchisee from South Florida. He has now had his free 10-minute lesson. Yeah, you can exit stage, sure. We'll be back with your calls when we come back on Academy Live. Stay with us. The Champions Tour returns to the Golf Channel for the Allianz